Hey everyone and welcome back. Mr. Steve here with Mr. Kevin. Let's get moving. We're going to start with our partner bridging drill. Again, without Mr. Kevin. We were focusing on trapping an arm, if possible, trapping a foot. I turn my head and my knee, and I drive my feet into the ground. My outside foot will do most of the work to help me elevate, but once my hips get up and I'm on my shoulder, that inside foot really also helps me to rotate over onto my knees. And I'm going to be on top with good posture, head up, not my head on their chest. So Mr. Kevin's on top. And again, just a quick review. I have to make sure my elbows aren't up in the air. I want to make sure I can have my elbows on top of his thighs so he's low enough. I control an arm. Again, I'm not reaching up. I just keep my elbows literally on his thighs where I grab, trap a foot. It's on the same side of the arm. That's the way I'm going to look. Take my knee, drive Mr. Kevin over to the side. He tucks his chin to make sure he doesn't hit his head or even bang his shoulder when he goes over. So we'll do this 1 minute. And go! Play! Let's do it. Go back and forth. Keep breathing. Less than 30. You're going to drive those heels into the ground. 15. Last one. And time. Echo! Pause. Alright, so we were also working our lateral hip movement, right? Our shrimping drill. So Ms. Kevin, you can go on your back this way to start. So you can see? Yeah, so we're gonna, we were initially doing this with our partner standing all the way up, giving us all the space in the world. Last class we started working down from one knee, 1 foot up. And we also showed how this can happen. I mean, this is a little bit of an exaggeration, but the idea of, if Mr. Kevin tries to bridge and I can use that foot to help me stay on top, well now, he's not gonna bridge me, but I've created an opening for him to shoot his hips out through and get his legs out and feet in front. So we're gonna do this up and down the room for 1 minute. Same thing. Are we gonna both sides? Let's do it. Ready? Echo! Play. Let's go. Both sides. Onto the shoulder. It's your legs that push your hips through. Feet in front. It's a very difficult movement, but it's very important. Arguably the most important. Halfway there. Keep going, and keep breathing. Get 7, 6, 5, 3. Echo. Pause. Very good. So those two movements account for, pushing the mount specifically, 90-95% of escapes. I mean, there's a few other things you can do, but just that vertical and lateral hip movement really makes all the difference. We walked through a whole bunch of offensive moves. I kind of want to just review. So Mr. Kevin on your back. So, this should be kind of quick. We're going to have Mr. Kevin. First, he'll post on my shoulders. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to swim to the inside. Swim to the inside. As soon as I can bring my chest down, my feet hook underneath his knees or his legs. I take one arm underneath his neck. 4 fingers go in my sleeve, elbow on the ground, hand lifts up. The hand goes under the chin. I move so I can center myself, I push down on the neck, but I lift up. It's the bottom arm that lifts up as well. Puts that pressure. So we're gonna do this for 1 minute. Inhale, post. This was easy. Work both sides, right? Work to where you cross face with both arms and work the choke with both arms. Ready? And go! Play! Just 1 minute. Seconds. And time. And go! Pause. So move right along. We were working our straight arm locks. So Mr. Kevin was posting out. Again, people who have more experience can absolutely have their partner have their arms in and work on, keeping, just using good technique. But for the people who are, still have trouble with that movement, he'll give me his arms, right? He'll extend his arms too high, and I'll pick which arm I want to control by going around it from the outside and through the center. My hands can go on the chest or the shoulder, and my knee goes to his ear. When my knee goes to his ear, my other leg's going to be light. So I'm going to take it and bring the heel of that foot to the other side of his head. And while my weight's on my partner, really, if I need to, I can still put my hand on the ground, because that helps me make this leg light. This leg being light allows me to move it over his head before I fall back. I don't want to fall back and then take my leg over his head. I have to take my leg over first. And then sit straight where I am, knees pinch, feet curl. Controlling my opponent's arm, bringing their elbow over my inside hip, pushing my feet down, doing that same bridge up against his elbow, inside. So we're gonna go for 1 minute, straight arm locks. Again, for the people who are experienced with this, please, also work both sides. One minute, ready? And go! Play. One minute. It's 30. And go. Pause. So last technique was our shoulder lock, or our Americana, where I have two hands on his one arm. I use my whole body to drive his wrist away from his chest and have my elbow touch the ground between his head and his arm. Here, elbow, and then my whole body pushes his arm to the ground. My legs hook underneath his knees, and my hand by his elbow will go under the bicep and tricep line and go on top of my own wrist. Pinning his wrist, at the same time I pull his hand towards his feet, I lift his elbow. Hand towards the feet, lift the elbow. When we tap, so let go. One more time, his hands are in. I really want to separate his wrist from his chest and get my elbow in between his head and his wrist. Here, his arm. Right, and down. I'm very careful not to elbow my partner in the chin. But at that point, my legs will hook and I'll push down with 2 arms. The whole body, really. Underneath, on top. Slowly pull and lift. 1 minute, nice and easy. Ready? And go. Play. Let's go. That's 30. Echo. Pause. All right, so last drill. We're gonna work 1 round of positional sparring. For this drill though, we're gonna switch who's on top. So if you start on top and try to do your sleeve choke, your arm bar, whether the person taps or you get thrown off, you switch and then you're on bottom. You have to try to work your escape. Then back on top, bottom, top, and bottom. All right, this is it. Last drill's only gonna be a minute. Every time we touch up in between, so your partner touch up, and go. Echo, play. So you play both. Keep it safe. Touch it every time at less than 30 seconds. Keep going, keep going. Less than 15. And 3, 2, 1, time. Awesome. That was great. And again, if you're working with someone close to your size, it is good to be able to work top and bottom. If you're working with someone more like mom or dad that's a lot bigger, it's still good to work both sides with control. But overall, you know, we want to be able to do both. I have our offense and our defense. So great job for today. Again, we always love seeing people send in pictures and of them doing this. So please keep it up. It's great. We really do appreciate it. We really miss seeing everyone, and we can't wait for this to be done. So, all right, we'll stand up straight. And a sign of respect.